Alright, so this is the stock feeder. It has rollers underneath. It has 3 rollers, and they're polyurethane, so they kind of are grippy a little bit. And they push the stock through. And it serves a couple purposes. One, it gives you constant, even feed. 2, if you angle it properly, it holds the stock against the fence, which it was doing a pretty good job there, so you have a cleaner finish. So this shaper does a great job. You kind of have it, you know, pushed in here out of the way. I don't use it very often, but when I want to use it, it comes in really handy. So anyway, it's basically a giant router table, right? Except it's got a 3 horsepower induction motor, so it has the power to make much larger cuts than a normal router would have. It also makes less noise than a router. The universal motor on routers, you know, makes a lot of noise. This has got an induction motor, so it's much quieter. All right, it's time to cut a return here. The little mark here won't matter because it'll be covered up. All right, get the frame in the opening here. First thing, the horns are against the drywall, so that looks good. Everything's flush. All right, now I can center this back and forth. Make sure I line up with my reveal marks. Get some shims here. Yeah, it's going to be too big. Got to be ready to put a nail in. right, so I'm maintaining the reveal here the whole way. Of course, down here, the reveal was already established. Here, I need to push this in like 1/8 of an inch, maintain the reveal. I need another nail in here. I mean, you can use a razor knife to score and then snap off these shims. Okay, so that extension is done with the exception of the returns. So a return is a little triangular piece that's cut to fit just like that. So you don't have end grain. If you didn't do this, you'd have end grain exposed on the end, and it's not rounded over. I mean, you could potentially round it over with a block plane or something, but this is a much better way to do it. Let's see if we can get this to stick. A little bit of wood glue. And we'll use a little sanding block to smooth it out. And I have a little sanding block that would just take the sharp edge off of this corner. So here's a scrap piece of casing. It's going to sit on there with about a 1/4 inch reveal here. So that's what that will look like. All right, let's go finish up the other side. All right, I want 60 7/8. And here I can see my laser. I'm in the shade. It's about 30 degrees out here right now. Get our other piece cut to 60 7/8. All right, 7 3/4 is our target width. Set your depth of cut so that the gullets between the teeth just clear the wood. A lot of discussion about, that. Seven 3/4. It's cold out here. Let the saw go through. This is a saw stop. I had got this a couple months ago. Rather than using my old Hitachi job site saw, decided to go with a saw stop. All right, I got the frame assembled back in the opening. First thing I'm going to do is align the head so back and forth so that the reveals on two sides are equal, because it moves back and forth, right? So you want to center it, basically, is what you're doing. So your reveals are correct. Okay, so reveals the same on both sides up here. And we've got at the bottom here, we're in good shape. Along there, the reveals are the same on both sides at the bottom, so we'll go ahead and nail this. Okay. All right, so that's done. So I just need to shim the two sides so that the reveal, so they both need to be pushed in so the reveal is even. Let's see how much. Okay, because this board was bowed a little bit, but now it's straightened out. Nail through here, pulled it over. The thickness of the shim determines how far. All right, same scenario over here. Moved upstairs now to work on these windows. Now, these windows came with pre-fab'd jamb extensions, and they do fit. So, got one across the top here, and these extensions have a little tongue on them that fits in a groove in the window itself, just like that. So all we got to do is shim and nail this one level. Of course, in addition to this head casing, there are legs as well. Make sure that's level. All right, we get that in center. Shim the other side. Definitely using a lot of shims here, but that's what it takes. We want this head extension, head jam to be plumb or horizontal. Okay. All right, these are the two legs they've given us. All right, the length of these legs are all going to be a little bit, look like they're going to be a little bit long. I already trimmed these two. All right, so this, all right. I have not nailed the, just realized I hadn't nailed the stool in yet. So let's do that. So that's proper length. Once I trim that down. got a couple of these legs that are just a hair too long. This is like a 1/16 of an inch too long. A couple of the others, 3 of the others are about 1/8 of an inch long. I'm gonna go cut them, come back up here, we'll install them. One thing I will advise is buy a lot more shims than you think you need. I bought 24 packs of shims like this, and I've only got, other than these two, I've only got 2 left. I'm going to say allow at least 2 packs of shims per window or door. All right, that'll wrap up this episode. We've got all of the jamb extensions done for all the windows. There's 3 double windows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single windows, a couple of doorways. So I'm ready for casing. We'll come back next time working on the window and door casings. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 doors to case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 windows, 9 windows. So I've got plenty of that work to do. Gonna mass produce the casings. I've got some clamps and some special glue that makes the job a whole lot easier, so I'll show you that. So that's next time. Thanks for watching. See you then.